Behold the glory. This is a new Lorne photo. It only flashed. I think it was Raptor Bacon. It flashed up on my news feed. It's like, oh, there's a new Lorne photo. It's like, why did I get a sudden rush of excitement because a sex offender a new fucking photograph on some website? What a bizarre. And so some guy from Manchester thought he'd make a video about it. Oh my goodness gracious me. Think of everything that's going on in the world these days. Pandemics, presidential crazy elections and turmoil and fucking all sorts. But we've got to have our fun, haven't we? You know, let's not take life too seriously. So, taking that into account, I'm going to yap on about a fucking low resolution photograph from a photo booth at Walmart somewhere in Maine. That is the entertainment that you're listening to, right? That's how you're spending your time. Have you ever listened to a YouTube video before when the creator subtly insults his audience whilst also insulting himself for making the thing? Anyway, you know what the first thing that came to mind was, what the fuck is that t-shirt he's got on there? I mean, dude, there's like something cut off from the bottom of the photo as well. Have you noticed? I wonder if he's like, because I was under the impression that there was like a sex offender photo shoot where they kind of like where they have to go to a certain place to have the photograph taken. But I think it's just, as I understand it, and I've got this on good authority, you just send them a photograph. I would imagine it has to be of a certain size. How funny would the comedy potential for, like, you know, let's just say they rent out a sports hall. Well, you wouldn't need the size of a sports hall, but I suppose if you had many people, you would. Let's just say, for argument's sake, comedy value, they rented out a sports hall, and people had to, like, all the sex offenders from a certain area had to go, like, twice a year or whatever it was, and, like, there was a big, there's a big sign above the sports hall says, normal service is closed, RSO photo day here. It's like, can you imagine what would happen? It's like, oh, Sean, how's it gone? I've not seen you in a while. It's like, oh, looking good. Fiddle any kids lately? Just kidding. You know what I mean? Fucking hell. Yeah, but what is that ridiculous polo shirt he's got? And them colours are awful. I mean, I know we can only see, this is low resolution, but we can only see the, you know, we can get that. That's like a burgundy-ish kind of, just, it looks like something that you find on the floor. You know what I mean? Or something. It doesn't look good from that angle, does it? But Lorne's never really had much dress sense, has he? Like, he turned up to the Sting House looking like a bit of a tramp, really. I mean, you'd think he'd have dressed up pretty smartly for his precious little princess, but no, he didn't. Anyway, yeah, it looks like your grandmother's curtains turned into a polo shirt, doesn't it? It's like, you know what I mean? What the crazy. Don't look too happy, does it? Let's compare. Oh shit, wrong button. So, wrong button. That was his last sex offender photo. I believe 6 months. So it must be twice a year. Because I remember making the video and it wasn't that long ago. There we go again. Lawn roulette. So, oh right, okay. I'm just being stupid now. Now, obviously, we have. Hang on a minute. Is his, like, nose kind of changed? Like, I mean, obviously it's from a different angle. He kind of looks drastically different, doesn't he? There, That's a really weird photograph. He kind of looks like he's got swelling to the face to me. When did he get out of prison? What are we on now? We should know because I was there when he got sent down. Hang on a minute. So it would have been not long before that photograph was taken, I don't think. And there were rumours flying around that something happened in prison. I can't even remember where I heard it, but I heard something went down in prison that wasn't good. Like, fucking, I don't know, Mr. Big found out who he was or something. I don't know. I can't remember where I heard that. Might have just been in some comment of a video or something. But there was a rumour flying around that something happened in prison. Like, anyway, so there was like... do you not think his nose looks bigger there? You see, it's really difficult to tell with these low-resolution photographs, because the thing is, if you look at that photograph there, a lot of his body is like a third of the photograph that's covered with his, like, his kind of neck area and his upper torso. That's kind of a full facial shot, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, overall impressions is not. I mean, Lorne's never really. I was gonna say his hair. I was gonna say then his hair needs cutting, but he doesn't cut his hair, does he? Like, I'm bald, right? I just shave my head quite often. As soon as a little bit of growth starts, I get rid of it because I think that I don't like the look of, like, keeping, the kind of hair in places where, if you're gonna be bald, just get on with it. You know what I mean? I don't like hair just at the sides and at the back and none where it should be. It just looks out of place. Thing is, with Lorne, he doesn't carry baldness very well. Excuse me. I'm kind of lucky because I think I kind of do, really. It doesn't. But some people have, like, strangely shaped heads, which I kind of do, really. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But I was just kind of making the comparison that I hate it when my hair gets to the length that his is now. I just wouldn't be able to do it at all. I think it's a really bad look. Because like most people, I want to look decent. I take pride in my appearance. Lorne kind of doesn't really. That element of him. I've got some mates that, that are decent guys, respectable, not on the sex offenders register, and they don't give a shit about their well, that's a bit unfair. I don't mean it like that, but they don't really, they're not really asked what they were. Fashion's just not a fucking. It's not part of their makeup. Do you know what I mean? No pun intended. Whereas I, that's probably one of my weaknesses, one of my failings that I need to get a grip of is I buy too many clothes. I can't fucking stop. When I say I can't stop, I don't mean I'm like buying them every minute of every day, but I do buy too many t-shirts and jackets and stuff. Anyway, yeah. So he doesn't like. His hair's always been an issue, hasn't it? It always just looked better. I know he might not carry ball. I don't know. We've never seen Lorne with a completely shaved head. I don't think, have we? I think he'd look better than he does there. So that's that's one thing. What are we on here? Now obviously it looks like there's more colour there than that one. It's like dead white and pasty. But you can't. It's very difficult. Yeah, because the colours are more pronounced in the t-shirt, and on that one it's very. Yeah, because if you look at the background on this colour, on this picture here, the background, the white is very bright. On that one, it isn't. So it kind of. That's an indication that it's just a low contrast photograph, whereas this one is kind of high. It's kind of like the brightness is really like, I mean, it's not very good quality. But he just looks really pissed off. He looks depressed. Just like a total, like, how can I put it? I don't like even saying too much unkind things, even about this guy. But I don't think there's any other way of saying it. Really, he looks like a total down and out, a loser. Really, just somebody who's completely lost focus in life. I mean, not that you're going to be smiling for a sex offender's photo, but you can just see he looks like a heavy smoker as well. You can just get that impression, like the rings around their eyes almost look like they're stained in tobacco. I know you're not going to stain your eyes, but I mean, Lorne's someone who will never stop smoking ever. He will never stop because he doesn't want to. He says he does, but ultimately, this is the thing. I stopped smoking. I smoked never like ridiculously. Like I think at me, I was going to say my prime. Then that's no way to put it. But when I smoked regular, which was when I was drinking regularly as well, I was on probably 10 or 15 a day maximum. So it was never excessive as what some people are. But I quit cold turkey. And if that's just a British saying, I don't know. But basically that means no AIDS, no silly, breathing techniques, or stick this patch on your ass and stick this patch on your back, and, all them kind of e-cigs. It was just stop. And it was torturous the first 1 or 2 weeks. And where people fall down is they stop, and then I'll just have that one just to get me through. But that does not work, because I remember bumping into one guy who was like, "Oh, I'm quitting smoking." I said, "Oh, look, right, yeah, I've only had 2 today." I said, "Well, you're not quitting then, are you?" "Oh, well, no, don't be so hard on me. I'm trying." I was like, "Well, you're not fucking trying hard enough, are you?" That doesn't work, because the whole point of quitting is you have to break the addiction, and by having one to get you through, you're not breaking any addiction. It's like e-cigs. It's a better alternative, we think, than smoking, but you're not breaking any addiction. You're just substituting one addiction for another that is believed to be less harmful, which it probably is. You would certainly think. But yeah, like, Lorne will never quit. I would be absolutely amazed if he ever quit smoking. Amazed. I just can't see it. It's just because anybody can quit. Them people who say I can't, it's bullshit. You can quit if you want to. It's not that. There is a physical addiction to it. There's psychological issues as well. It's difficult, don't get me wrong. I remember nearly collapsing when I was going through it, but it was like I had a clear objective. Well, not a clear. Obviously, the clear objective is to stop smoking, but I suppose I had a reason, a well established. Well, 2. One was for health, and the other was financial. And I just kept thinking about those things. And what happens is, when you get through 2 or 3 days and you really suffer, the thing that kept me going is I didn't want all that hard work to be for nothing. So I stuck with it, and it ended up working. Yeah, so, it's so funny that he talked about it in the chat log 13 years ago. I'm going to quit. Well, you didn't, did you? Yeah. So, yeah, he doesn't look an happy chap, as you said. If he looks a bit hungover there, because the skin's bright red. That's usually like the skin. You get pigmentation in the skin, don't you, when you're a bit, you still got alcoholic poisoning. That could be the reason. And he did the bags under his eyes are quite pronounced. If you have a look at let's have a look here. I mean, you can still see them there. It's difficult to compare the photographs. I wish we could have the hair's still the same though, isn't it? He's not done with anything with his hair at all. Dude. Do you know what though? It's like, the Lorne bipolar thing, where every now and again, I know some people may shoot me down for this. You feel sorry for him, or I do, should I say? Every now and again, not for long, because you realise that everything's his own doing. So what's the purpose of sympathy? Because ultimately, we've all got challenges in life, and it's about rising up to those challenges. I thought I was going to start singing Rocky 3 theme tune then. But do you get what I mean? So, but what I do, the sympathy, I don't think is the right word. Empathy, I don't know. But what I find, the thing that gets me is, it's a waste of life for any human being to live like that. And it's a shame, really, because it's like I've said, I wholeheartedly believe that if Lorne was brought up in the right environment, he would have gone down a different path. I've said it many, many times. It's something that I hold dear and that serves me well in some aspects of life, is that I don't believe that evil is inherent to people. People just make poor choices. A very, very close friend of mine, who I've hung around with for a very, very long time. I can't say too much because, people listening and shit. But he has made some very, very poor decisions, and he is now what I would consider not a good person. Not a good person at all. And it's simply, what has happened is he's had difficult challenges, there is no doubt about that, but not insurmountable. And he has made poor choices, and what happened was the road to resolve his issues became harder and harder, and he buried his head in the sand. And what he did was created a narrative in his mind where his situation was other people's fault. Now, you can pretty much create any narrative in your mind that will suit your needs, or that will serve you, that will serve your, your goal of avoiding responsibility, which we know is indicative to Lorne. And he clings to that. And what he's done is, he's done a Lorne, and I can see the comparisons. What bad people do is, bad people don't take responsibility, because the only way that you can grow as a person is really look deep inside yourself and be totally honest. And it's very difficult to do, because unless you transcend your ego mind, some people can never get there, because to admit your deepest failings is to the ego, it's like dying. And if you're really identified with it, you can't do it. It takes an enormous amount of courage, discipline, and pain and suffering. And what this guy, my friend, has done is he can't face up to it. And it's just the same as Lorne. Now, the guy that I know is in a position where he can resolve it, and this is the thing, he can't, I tried to talk to him about it, and he immediately deflected and started insulting me just for trying to talk to him about it, when it was completely, it was like, well, what have I got to do with anything? It's not about me, and at that point I was like, there's no, that you've gone. The person I knew is gone. And it's sad, but life's tough, and there's some really, really difficult challenges. Some that I've been through a lot, but compared to what some people go through with tragedy and what have you. But like I said, I do compare some of what this guy I know went through to Lorne's situation. Lorne's is insurmountable from his position. It isn't, but for him to get gut to become a good person, he would have to face up to his biggest demon, that he is a predator, a child predator, that he sought the the manipulation and decimation, if you will, of a child for his own selfish needs. Now, those needs were, one could argue, survival needs: to have love and companionship, and sexual needs are fundamental to us. But you can deal with it in many other ways, and Lon didn't. He chose the quickest and easiest path that he thought would get him what he wanted, which was to go online and try and manipulate a child into being his sex slave. That's basically what he wanted. And he can never face up to that. Never. He just can't, because it's too much for him to bear. It would take something remarkable. Did you know what the weird thing is about it all? It is possible. Every human being has that seed within them of redemption. Every single one. It can't not be there, because it's part of who you are. It's just that the real person inside has been lost. And you always have that choice. But it's difficult. It's a bit of a weird thing. It's like meditation in a way. Meditation is the hardest thing in the world to do, but also at the same time the easiest thing in the world to do. Do you know why? Because you are doing nothing. Literally, absolutely fucking nothing. You are not thinking, you are not moving, you are not doing anything. So you would say that is the easiest thing in the world to do. Nothing. But you try and do that for a sustained amount of time. It is, to keep the monkey mind quiet, is crazily difficult. But it shouldn't be. But I didn't think in an RSO Lorne video, an RSO photo Lorne video, I'd start babbling on about meditation, but you know what I'm like. But yeah, so his... You can just see it. Look at that. There's like a smirk there, isn't there? You know, like the kind of the right side of his lips is kind of like he's getting angry. That's why I think he's hungover, because when you're hungover, you're pissed off, aren't you? You know, you're angry, you're emotional, everything. It's one of the reasons I don't drink anymore. Well, there's many reasons. That's one of them. Is like waking up with a hangover. I can't remember when it was. It was a while ago. And I just remember waking up feeling like shit. And I remember saying, I'm never going through this again. And we all do that, don't we, when we're pissed? But I remember at that point thinking, no. No more. There's just no more, But to people like Lorne, there is no option, because he would have to ponder, you would have to keep, I mean, what else is he going to do, He's lost his friend, Tony's gone. But he still keeps plodding along. He's still got, still got his crazy schemes going on. One would imagine. There'll always be something, but there'll never be an acceptance. There'll never be a total acquiesce with life. There'll always be a scheme and probably I have no idea what's going on with the catfishing. For all I know, people might got bored of it, but I don't think that'll ever happen. I think there'll always be someone somewhere that will just want to do it for whatever reason, I get it, because it is entertaining. Well, I do and I don't. I certainly wouldn't be fucking wasting my time. What I'll do is I'll sit in judgment over other people that do it and then listen to it. No, but like some of the stuff, I don't want to start dishing names out because I'm not interested in getting involved in the drama or anything. But there's some of I love the Tiffany stuff, and I'm not just saying this for personal reasons or anything. I'm just being honest. Some of the stuff I couldn't stand, But everybody has their preferences, don't they? You know what I mean? Whatever you're into. And I was talking about this to somebody the other week. about, is there any other person that you could just listen to? Because the original, like I said, the original Ramona calls that I think were released, that's called Lorne is a Butthole, is just an amazing piece of entertainment. It's just phenomenal. It's just listening to him speak to his mum. Why would I want to listen to a sex offender who's not done anything, not a remarkable guy? It's just weird. Why do I want to listen to him talk to his mum? But that little call, Honourable, where she goes, Honourable, those people don't think you're so great. I don't care. You know, that is just, it's like I'm listening to an episode of The Simpsons. It's that entertaining. I cannot get my head around why. It's like Ralph and Laurie are pieces of shit. It's just so fucking amazing. I can't understand my facet. It's just weird. It's really interesting stuff. It's like, there's all, what do you call them? Lolcals? I don't even know what that is, but there's like people like Chris Chan, and I'm not interested. Like, I'm not interested in listening to anybody, even if it was like a famous person. Like, I don't know. We're going to do a stream about it, right? Me and Shin, Tiffany, and Amanda James, well, I assume they'll join us. We're going to do like a stream on like why is this guy so interesting? You know, really try and get to the bottom of it. What is it? Let's not start theorising in the comments. We'll save it until then. But anyway, I've digressed a lot during this video, haven't I? Is there enough? Let's just have a quick... Have you noticed how his ears are a bit funny? They're like lopsided, aren't they? It's like he's hang on a minute. His left ear is like fucking higher than the right one. Yeah. Really don't look good, does he? But, you know, the lad's been through a lot, hasn't he? Self-imposed. Yeah, so there we go. Another 6 month, another Lorne RSO photo. Yeah. So, don't think there's much. Actually, I've done quite well. 27 minutes to drag out one fucking little photo of a sex offender in Maine. That's pretty good going, isn't it? And I'm going to go now because I've got shit to do. So, I hope that you've enjoyed this little video. Yeah, no stream this week, but there will be next week. So, guys, thank you very much. I hope you've all had a good Thanksgiving, my American friends. We can't get our heads around this in the UK. We're too busy kind of flying our brollies like Mary Poppins. Anyway, so yeah, guys, take it easy. I hope you're all doing well. Speak to you soon.